Just a short little hook. Lewis goes backward here, he piles the pressure on. Good body punches, the left hook follow-up. He was really all over Lewis at that point.
Well, Lennox Lewis and his camp must be wondering whether this is going to turn into the kind of nightmare he had with Oliver McCall in his only defeat. Knocked out that night by a right hand thrown blind by McCall and then stopped on his feet.
Well, Lewis has to try and get his punches off. He's very, very tense. His jab's going out slowly, and that's allowing Briggs to come in with those quick hooks. Lewis has got to speed up with that jab, double it up, try and get the balance wrong from Briggs.
Good chopping right hand there from Lewis, but he is troubled by the speed of Briggs.
Come on, when I say Briggs, step back, man.
Briggs beaten just once, blown away in 3 rounds by the journeyman Darryl Wilson. He claimed he had asthma that night caused by dust mites. He's been spraying his room here in the hotel to keep them away and have clearly done a pretty good job. He has no problems here so far. He's made a wonderful start, but can Briggs build on that? Can Lewis find himself?
Well, Lewis on the back foot now. He's got to try and keep that jab going out. It's the key here for him to use that jab. He's got to try and keep Briggs off balance. When Briggs starts leading with his left jab, you can guarantee the hooks are coming behind that.
Lewis doing better in this second round.
You're holding, Lennox.
But Lewis worryingly so, looking to hold inside. He's still trying to clear his head. I don't think he's fully recovered.
Looking for that trademark chopping right hand. Briggs shaking his head as if to say, no effect. Left hand, again. Lewis looking disorganized. Briggs finding some very unexpected angles for these punches, and Lewis is troubled technically in there at the moment. It does not look good for him early on.
Well, the crowd were all on their feet with that left hook. This is good works for Briggs. Lewis just can't find his timing, can't find his rhythm. He's uncomfortable in there.
He nodded at Briggs as well after he'd been caught by that left hook. Lewis unable to dominate here as he did against Galota, but beginning to get that jab working.
That's better for Lewis. Punches starting to go in. He's got to keep busy. He's better when he's got Briggs on the back foot and he's throwing punches. When he waits, he can get caught.
Well, they both had their moments in that second round. But those who thought that Shannon Briggs was just a cotton wool challenger of convenience for this title have had to reappraise their ideas very quickly indeed here.
They really have. Lennox Lewis certainly has a fight on his hands.
You see it working?
This is no guy that's just came for the payday. He's coming to fight. Being very cagey in there. That was a good left hook. Following up, Lewis got his wits about him, getting his hands up, looking to cover up, looking to try and bob out the way. He got out of that bit of trouble, but he's just got to be careful. These fast punches, he just can't cope with the speed of Briggs.
Will Briggs be able to sustain the effort, though? This man who listens to opera to relax pre-fight, writes his own rap songs, surfs the internet, plays chess, a kind of boxing intellectual, if you like. And Briggs getting caught by those right hands of Lewis at the start of the round. Lewis here looks as if he's just moved up a gear at the start of the third round. Almost as if he's saying to Briggs, well, you've had your moments here, but now I'm going to show you what being heavyweight champion is about. Let's see if Lewis can continue to dominate.
But Briggs is fighting with confidence since the good first round. Lewis has got to take that away. He's got to be dominant. He's got to be the boss. He's got to start throwing more punches.
Get off him, Lennox. Briggs, step back, stop punching, both of them.
Now he blocked those punches, Lewis, got his gloves up that time, looked tighter in defence. I think Briggs certainly surprised him early on here.
This is now better. Now he's getting the centre of the ring. Now he's been dominant behind the jab, pushing Briggs back. Briggs starting to move around. This is where Briggs can't get balance. Lewis has got to keep doing that. The jab has got to stay busy.
Come on.
This is the best yet from Lewis in the third. He's got his jab one. And Briggs, who was caught several times by even the slow punching Foreman, having to ship these. The top may be turning significantly here in round 3. Briggs cannot continue to take those right hands at this regularity.
Well, Briggs is shaking his head as if they're not hurting, but he's not getting out of the way of the punches, and this is much better from Lewis.
All right, break. Both you step back. Both of them.
Begins to look for a moment, and I say for a moment as if Lewis may have worked out the problems.
Lewis just looking as they're starting to loosen up. The jab was a good weapon from Lewis, really ramrod jab. Now he's starting to get his combinations behind it.
Well, he's being caught with that jab now, but with sickening regularity, Shannon Briggs.
Stay off his neck, Lennox. Stay off his neck.
And a different kind of reality maybe crowding in on him here, breathing more heavily. Briggs. Big round that for Lewis, maybe a breakthrough and pivotal round in the fight. Shannon Briggs, one of the New York papers this week, called him the fighting dust mop. They said if you turn him upside down, you could polish the furniture with him.
Yes, he certainly has a mop of hair on his head. I think a lot of people were writing him off, but it's been a very good start for Shannon Briggs. For Lewis getting the best of the third, just starting to get his boxing together. The jab has been the key. He started to use that more. There's the left and right behind the jab. He's just warming up. He's just getting his rhythm. I think he was very, very psyched up at the beginning of the fight, maybe too much. Now he's starting to loosen up, find his rhythm, and this is so much better.
Well, can Briggs re-establish himself? Does he have the necessary technical ability to live at this level with Lewis, who's got him hurt here right at the start of the round? Lewis, I think, fancies that he may be able to get this job. He's holding onto the ropes to keep himself up for a moment there. Right uppercut, then one to the body. Lewis here in top gear. Very menacing. Briggs is really staggered by a right hand. His legs stiffen. He's all over the place. The end could be near here. Lewis is just looking here now to pick the punches.
Briggs is trying to fight back. Could be dangerous when he's hurt, but Lewis just has to keep himself upright, keep his hands up. Don't lose concentration and keep the pressure on.
Big right hand, big chopping right hand. Shannon Briggs, I don't think will get through this round. He looks all out. Frank Cappuccino will give him the mandatory 8. Looks into his eyes, but Briggs has next to nothing left, I fancy, here. And Lewis, cool, clinical, trying to think his way into the finish, which must be imminent now. It looked dodgy early on. Briggs will perform a miracle if he can get through this round.
Lewis has to look for the right punches, find the gaps here, break him down.
Caught with a countering left on the way in. Is that a last act of defiance from Shannon Briggs?
Well, this is a brave performance from Briggs. He can always look as if he can be dangerous when he's up against the ropes. Lewis has to keep his concentration.
And Lewis, just for a moment, breathing heavily himself as if he might have been punched out.